Welcome, folks, to another episode of the HiTech Podcast. This is one of your two hosts, William Illingworth, joined by my friend, my buddy, my pal, my comrade, my confidant, my compatriot, Joshua
Very
Swartz.
sea-themed.
It starts with my buddy, my pal, and then it goes...
I guess that's true. There were two... I was like, it's very sea-themed, except for the words that didn't have C's. You know?
Yeah. I remember one of the early times I did that. That's what my thought. I love alliteration, so I was trying to come up with C words.
Very Baptist of you. It was a very yeah.
Well, then it needs to be only three.
Yeah, that's true.
Words.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that junk aside, folks, welcome to episode 231. We are here. We are ready to entertain you, engage you, teach you.
Well, don't promise them we'll entertain them. That's like setting standards high right from the beginning.
We're going to be here all the episodes.
We are here to give you what podcasts give you. Audio and video. That's what we're here to give you. Whatever you get out of it is up to you. Yeah.
If you're not watching, switch over to YouTube or Spotify video and watch the episode. Say hi. Wave. It's going to be fine.
I mean, you can wave, but we won't wave back. Except for right now. If you're waving, I'm waving back to you right now in the video. You're missing your chance.
Worked.
Interaction at its best. Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Amazing.
Look at us.
Amazing. Folks, before we jump into the meat of things, find us on the social medias. Those things are all now on screen. You can look at the screen if you're not watching. How can you look at them? If you're not watching, though, of course, at HiTech Podcast or at HiTech Pod on the social medias, head over to our website, hitechpod.us, or email us, inbox at hitechpod.us. That email inbox is monitored by yours truly.
Mm-hmm.
And I open it
every Monday night because Spotify login just sends me a passcode now. It refuses to I forget whatever we set up.
2FA.
But it won't let me do passwords anymore. I have to do a passcode. So I open it up every Monday night to get the passcode so I can put the thumbnail and the description on the Spotify side.
And he sees the 5 emails I've left unread forever.
Yep.
They'll never be read.
It makes me question how much he is actually monitoring it. I'll be honest. There are occasionally sometimes I'm like,
they're all there on purpose.
Will must hate that guy. He's just never responded to him. That's crazy. You know?
There's reasons. There's rationale.
There's reasons. There's rationale. So as long as Will doesn't have a reason or rationale, if you email us at inbox@hitechpod.us, you probably get a response back.
Yeah, if I have a reason not to talk to you or look at your email address, then
Yeah.
No, everything that's in there is I'm a follow up with it later kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
So
it's a thing. Yeah. Anyway.
But folks, do all those things: like, subscribe, share, follow, all the fun things. We appreciate that. It helps us, helps you. We continue doing the podcast. Good stuff. All right.
Tank or not? Well, that is the game that we are playing today. Welcome to the HiTech Podcast, where
I was about to ask.
This is the HiTech Podcast where sometimes we also play a game called Tank or Not. I don't know why it's in are you seeing it in a weird?
It looks normal.
It looks normal? That's how it normally looks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, fun. It looks like a really zoomed in picture. So
okay, that's fine. Yeah.
I have no idea what it is.
523%, in case you're curious. If you're new to the HiTech Podcast, we sometimes talk about tanks. It's a weird obsession that's lasted since our early episodes. It keeps happening. And thank you to some friends of ours. We invented a game a few episodes ago called Tank or Not, where Will and I, mainly Will, gets a picture from me, zoomed in at a high percentage, and Will needs to guess, is it a tank or is it not? And if Will thinks it's not a tank, he must tell me an extensive backstory for why it's not a tank. And also, we've been trying to keep score recently for some reason. I forget why. We decided this last episode.
I like to track things, statistics.
Yeah.
But what you're telling me is if I think it is a tank, I don't have to give you a story.
Yeah, if you think it is a tank, you don't have to give me a story.
Oh, that's...
Though I'd like a reason why you think it's a tank. I'm going to add that now because I feel like that's becoming a motivator to just call it a tank.
Dang.
You know?
So, listener, if you're not watching, okay, Steve, Robin, we know it's you. It's fine. Love you guys. What I see on screen, top right-hand quarter, is mushy gray. And right below that looks like it could be the fender or something around a tread. And then to the left of that definitely looks like tread. Or this is not a tank. I've kind of gathered the pieces here.
What if that's one of my kids' toys? You don't know.
Is it a tank? What do you think it is? You should tell me.
I'm not going to tell you. I know what it is. I have the picture.
You took the picture? Or you have
I don't know what you're saying. What?
I'm going to go with this is a tank. I really think we might be looking at like tread or gears on the left-hand side and like other pieces on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's a perspective to take for sure.
Oh, crap.
Because you'd be right. That is a tank, good sir. I did not take this picture. I found it on the internet. What I find very entertaining is this guy's face.
Dude, he's having the best time of his life. Oh, that guy. I thought you were talking about
No, like that guy's just like there. He's just like in the front.
Yep.
You know? Like that guy's super happy.
His head sticking out.
Yeah. That guy's kind of like just looking off to the side. It kind of looks like somebody was like, you're in a tank. Look cool. I'm about to take a picture of it to be on the internet. Like that's kind of what it looks like.
I'm proud of you for noticing the guy in the whatever pilot suit.
Oh, you can't get one past me when it comes to tanks, my friend.
Sure.
I got eagle eyes when it comes to tanks now. It's all
eagle eyes.
I'm not saying I have a backlog of pictures now prepped, and I just decided not to use them tonight, but I do. I've been actively searching for them. You know,
interesting.
Out in the wild, if you will.
I might enlist AI to help me at some point.
Okay,
we'll see if
I feel like you just haven't been giving me tank pictures or not. You know, this doesn't have to be a one-way street. You could be the game show host.
This is a two-way street for tanks.
Yeah,
tanks can go both ways.
Tank or not is a game for all people. Will Tank or not is a game of the masses. You know,
by the people, for the people. That has always been known to be the phrase around Tank or Not. It's a movement. You know, the creators of Cards Against Humanity. If you're listening, I'd love for you to figure out how to turn Tank or Not into a card game. I'm just saying. Tanks Against Humanity.
No, just Tank or Not as a card game. Just like it's just an entire box of cards where you have to like put them together to make a picture, but you have to figure out if it's a tank or not before you do.
Joshua, that's called a puzzle.
Not with Tank or Not. Okay? There's no connecting pieces, you know?
Oh, you got me right in the giggles with this one. This is
Tank or Not. Good. The game for the people.
All right, folks. Well, that does leave me 4-3. So 4 times correct, 3 times incorrect. I do like being in a positive KD here. It's nice to be above the losses on the wins. Yep. So
it doesn't happen for Will very often, but it's happening in Tank or Not.
No, it does not. I am not the good video gamer. I'm going to cut the cord on that one so we can move on to the next conversation.
That was a rough transition, I gotta admit. Mainly because I'm pretty sure cut the cord on that one is not a catchphrase for switching topics.
Catchphrase.
Yeah. Could have said cut to the next. Could have said cut to the next one. I could have said I'm just going to cut it there. You know, like I'm suggesting a few others.
Go ahead, kick me while I'm down. It's fine. I'll wait.
Nah, I'll cut out of that one. Let's move to the next one.
Oh, okay. You're gonna cut me off there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Folks, this episode is the beginning of something. In fact, it's the beginning of a new podcast. No, I'm joking. No. Is it? Am I?
The HiTech Podcast After Dark is finally happening.
Okay, last week, seriously, people were standing by the fact that we need to do at least jokes, if not bits, about like marijuana tech. Still, years later, still coming back to like high tech, like getting high.
Yeah, anyways, I can't do that. Sorry.
Not interested.
Nor do I.
We put this episode in last week. We decided we're going to do this week because we
planned so far ahead.
so far ahead. We've been planning some episodes about Scribe. Scribe's one of our affiliates. If you're not familiar with them, feel free to go check them out. Their website is easily found either at scribehow.com, which is fantastic, or scribe.com. They very recently purchased the new domain, and they have that domain
I like
for
how
themselves.
prepped you felt for that. That was great.
I just want to test my knowledge, make sure I had it exactly right. Scribe is a tool that will help you build tutorials, click-throughs, whatever. We're big fans. It's a pretty awesome tool. We are affiliates. Feel free to go check them out. You can use our sign-up links or tell them we sent you, whatever. That's great. We'd love that. Besides what we could do for ourselves, we were committed to doing a bunch of episodes for them this year, and we will be producing those. But before we got into really like thinking that whole saga through, I made a decision. Will made a personal decision. I will be cutting the cord on Google this year. Mm-hmm. And it's not just Google.
Let's also clarify. You're cutting the cord on you using Google, not Google in general. So don't worry. Like in 2 months,
Google going
will
down.
Still be here.
I'm yelling timber.
Will doesn't know how to do that. Like, he doesn't know how to he's not like cutting the main service. It just felt kind of like IT Crowd for a second, where they convinced the lady that they have the internet in a box. That's
an amazing episode.
Sorry.
That's an
continue.
amazing episode. No, but folks, I want you to know that I know where the one cord is, the single cord to cut that would bring Google down. I know where it is. Yeah. All I have to do is take a pair of scissors and cut that one cord, and Google's gone. Yeah. You heard it here first.
Please don't believe that.
Josh is like, shut up.
Yeah, stop this. This is fake. Fake news.
Anyways, I've been using Google for a very long time. I literally got a Gmail when it was invite only. I have been a big fan of them. I've used all of their products practically. I have a Google Pixel. That's what my cell phone is. Ad nauseum. If it's Googleable,
sorry,
I have Google. I may not change my physical phone. I'm definitely going to change the operating system. So spoiler alert, folks.
Okay.
I've committed long term, and dang it, I'm recording it. This
better happen now. Or this
is accountability.
This is not happening.
I have committed to leaving Google behind as a content or software provider. I am going to subscribe to Proton. Proton provides mail, calendar, drive, a password manager, contacts, all that kind of stuff. You do a monthly subscription, all that good junk. We're going to be talking about them more in the future. But I am dropping Google. And if you've never thought about doing that, I'm going to promise you don't know how hard that is. And you don't know how many different things.
It probably depends on the person. I think for you, like, this is a big deal for Will, because like Will and I like smart home stuff, right? Like, so,
yes.
And to different degrees. Will has definitely, because his significant other is more of a fan of smart home stuff, has went more full area. I have like a box of smartness in my house.
In your office.
Like in my office, and the rest of the house I've been told I'm not allowed to mess with. But we like smart home stuff. So this might be a little bit harder for you, because beyond just using Google in some of the ways, like to search and stuff like people do, or use it as your browser or things, those would be probably the most common ways most people are using it. Will is also using Google for Google Home things. Now, there's plenty of people who use Google Home. Google Home is one of the most popular. I mean, you've basically got Google Home, you've got Amazon, and you've got Apple Home. I mean, that's really kind of the big
Those are the three main competitors.
Main competitors. But even if you're using like Amazon, you're using some Google stuff somewhere. Like it's so anyway. So Will, why are you cutting the cord beyond just wanting to commit yourself on a podcast to quite a statement, ensuring that you do it? Because I think this is good. You notice I am not committed to anything yet. I am not.
Josh is joining me, folks. Josh is coming right behind me. I might be joining
you on parts of this journey, but
I may or may not. Why? I have a ton of reasons. One is very simply, Google from the get-go has been free. They've offered all of their primary services for free. And while there's tons of concerns or considerations for what that means, at the end of the day, I believe philosophically, whether this is absolutely true or functionally true, I believe philosophically, if you're using a free platform, you are the thing that is making them money. My data, my information, my use of it, I am what makes them make money. And I'm not a big fan of that when I can't control what it is they're doing with my data, my privacy, my security, whatever. Now, that is true of all software as a service, SaaS, right? SaaS platforms are going to use their end user as a part of their product. You can't not consider the end user in your SaaS offering, right? So we're using a tool called Squadcast to record this. They want to know that the customer, me and Josh, are using the tool effectively and that it's working for them and that they're keeping us and that our subscriptions don't lapse and stuff. Like, not every company, every SaaS platform is concerned with their end user, but Google literally uses my emails to make their platform better, stronger, faster. They use my searches, my ad money to make their product better, stronger, faster. And what they don't necessarily have, and they don't have to have, I'm not judging them for this, but they don't have my best interest at heart. And I'm not going to come out here and say that any other platform I'm going to switch to or Proton specifically does, but what I am saying is I am no longer comfortable being the product. I am not happy that my data, my use of the platform is what enables them to continue making more money and going further. And I don't get any equity. I don't get a cut. I'm not an employee, but yet I am. Now, I signed up. I said, yes, it's a free platform. I subscribed. I got on the bandwagon. I've been with them for, I don't even know, two decades, maybe?
Yeah,
maybe
probably
it's
a long
20
time.
years. So that's probably the number one reason why. I'm not a huge fan of the big techs. I think that there's some monopoly level issues happening in big tech right now. I don't agree with a lot of with what's happening around AI and how they're spending their money on it. There's a ton of reasons why, more lowercase or second or third tier level reasons why I'm not a big fan, why I don't want to stay with them. But the number one is I do not believe myself, my data, my experience with the tool should be the product. I want to be sold a product that is intended for my use, how I want to use it. Proton specifically is operated by a nonprofit, and they are built around a mission for security and privacy to protect the end user. And you pay. You can use a free one. There's lots of limits, but you pay, and that is what gets you that higher level access, support, storage, et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty simple why. There's a lot of folks I know who are leaving all the big tech platforms either for political reasons, boycotting, privacy concerns, et cetera, et cetera. All of them valid. I have no concerns, but my number one is I will not be the product anymore. So I'm ready and I'm willing to pay a monthly fee to ensure that the tool I'm using is earning its money from my money, what I'm spending on them, not ads, not lobbyists, not third parties, not integrations or handshakes with countries, all the other crap that's happened in the news. That's what's going on. And now, what does it mean? Why I'm choosing this? What does it mean? Folks, I've got the Google Pixel. I've got the Google Home stuff. I use YouTube Music. I subscribe to YouTube Music, which is a part of a suite that gives me access to 2 terabytes of data with Google Drive. And they're embedded in my digital identity. So this is going to be a rip and tear to try this out and figure this out. And I'll say it now. I've committed to doing this on the podcast. It's recorded. This is going to go out. But I also have the humility enough to say this might fail. I might not stay with Proton. It's very possible I come back to Google. Not that that's my goal, but there's so much of our lives that are built around these softwares and hardwares. Mm-hmm. I do want the functionality that's available to me. And so if I lose that, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm stepping forwards into this process. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit more about this in this episode, the tools, the how, the what, the where, but we're going to do more episodes where I'm going to document how I've done it.
Yeah.
Right. So when I switch to Proton, I'm going to show you how I bring my Google Drive over. Not my stuff, but how to do the imports. I'm going to show you how I move from Bitwarden as my password manager to Proton Pass. I'm going to show you how I don't even know. I'm so scared. I have decades of emails in Gmail, and I'm going to try and get it into Proton. Like, I have no idea what that's going to look like.
Well, I mean, unless Will doesn't respond to you, then like he just has to move one email. You know, it's a whole.
Well, and that's fair too. At the end of the day, like Josh and I haven't talked. I'm not gonna move the podcast yet or at all. Like, there are things where I'm still gonna have to use Google because it's just a part of other elements of my life. But my data, my day to day, I'm committed. I'm stepping out into this process.
So we're gonna document it on the podcast. We're gonna document next episode. We're gonna talk a lot about some of the hows and like how to use Scribe to document it. How Will's gonna use it, because we're gonna use Scribe to document the process. Because I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind.
Maybe he'll follow.
I'm not as embedded in Google as you are. I have Gmail mainly, and Google Drive because who doesn't. It
comes with it.
That's basically it. I don't have a cell phone in Google. Now I use Google Chrome, so if I would leave Google, I'd have to change using Google Chrome.
Yeah, you can come to Brave with me.
Yeah, but I also like when things work. And then, so...
You know what doesn't work on Brave?
What?
You know what doesn't work on Brave? Oh my God, it's amazing. Ads.
I know.
Get ads.
Yeah, I know they don't work. Sometimes when we're testing things, they also don't work. No. Anyway. Yeah. So like for me to leave Google would be different. Now I think moving to Proton would mean on my end, not just leaving Google, would mean leaving several things because I don't necessarily like Google isn't my central thing. I don't use Google now.
Right.
We were joking about this on the podcast before. You'd have to like stab me to make me move from Notion, or Notion would have to like do something really bad.
You'd have to die.
Yeah,
I will bury you with your Notion server.
I would move from Notion. That's probably why I don't use Google Drive that much, because I just thousands upon thousands of things are stored in Notion for pages.
Can I make a commitment to you real quick?
What's going on?
I think that this is important.
Is this a live? Are you gonna do it? Are we gonna? Is this what I think?
No.
No, okay.
It's not. If it's what you think I think that you think it is, it's not what you think I think that I think it is.
Oh no, I thought it was a thing. It's fine. Now I'm less excited. What are you committing to me down here?
Heaven
for
forfend.
Married.
Well, kind of the opposite. Heaven forfend. In the worst days that you pass before I pass, I will seek Notion out. Okay, and I will get a hard drive of all of your Notion entity, and I will have it buried with you. Is that okay? I think that's a commitment.
Fine. I feel like it's a little overkill, but that's fine, I guess. If I'm dead, I don't really care about what's in Notion anymore.
I know you don't care, but like I'm trying to express a sentiment here.
That's fine. That's a lot. Wrong? I appreciate it. That's a lot, though. I'm like, let's say Notion stays around for another 10 years. I'm like, I forget where to check this. There's a thing to check
all your notes.
I'm like,
how many pages?
I'm in like thousands upon thousands of pages. So
I'm not surprised if you had 10,000. I wouldn't be surprised.
Every task is a page.
Yep.
Okay, and I've been using Notion for 4.5, 5 years now as my task management system.
I would expect you to be close to 20,000 personally. So
probably.
I'm gonna get if heaven forfend you were to pass before me, I'm going to seek Notion out. I'm going to get a hard drive exported with all your data, and I'll have it buried with you, so Notion can go with you into the afterlife, quote unquote, like the pharaohs of old.
Yeah, like, oh yeah. Sorry, my brain's now stuck on how many pages. I'm done now. Okay, so
I can vamp if you want to go figure that out.
No, it's fine. I was just like looking at a week. I've probably completed like 100 tasks. So like that's like,
52 weeks is 5,200.
Yeah, that's a lot of pages.
52,000, and then across 4 years, yeah, you've got a ton. You've got 20,000.
Anyway, but so like leaving big tech in some of my areas of my life interests me in some ways. So I could be seen going down this. Proton has always interested me as a software because it offers a lot of things, but then also connects very specifically with like VPNs and storage drive. servers and like stuff that like also interests me in trying to store content and stuff like that. So yeah, the concept interests me. Now, so we're going to document some of that. So Will's going to create tutorials so the rest of us know how to do it in case any of us want to do it. Okay. But then the questions, we're not going to answer all of the how right now. Obviously, we're not going to have Will walk us through every step, but we do want to walk through general, right? So like when we're talking cut the cord, we're talking removing from Google. For some of you, this might look like removing from iCloud because iCloud has the same problems. I mean, you pay for it, but it's very similar issues that you probably have with iCloud that you have with Google Drive, or OneDrive would be another example of some of the same problems that you have. This reminded me of one thing I did want to say as we're talking about leaving Google. I think we should note that Robin and I have decided to create a movie that's of an alternate universe. Okay, just work with me here for a second. In this alternate universe, okay, we didn't win the Revolutionary War. We're still British, but because of that, Ask Jeeves won. You know, like because we're still British, Ask Jeeves won. So everything that Google has is owned by Ask Jeeves in this alternate universe. I love that. So instead of like Google Drive, it's Jeeves Drive. You know,
Jeeves has my vote. Okay,
yeah,
Jeeves,
like
I'm behind.
Instead
Jeeves.
of like Google turn on the lights, it's Jeeves. Could you please turn on the lights, sir? You know, like that. Anyway, it's there's our alternate universe. Yeah.
There is an askjeeves.net, and if you click into the search bar, it says enhanced by Google. That's hilarious.
They bought it.
And then there's an ask.com. I was curious if Ask Jeeves survived. Yeah, ask.com is the original Ask Jeeves.
Oh, that's fun.
They survived.
Oh, okay. Wow. Anyway, sorry, that was a divergence for a second. It was a movie that Robin and I are planning. So anyway, we're thinking, we're brainstorming titles, but I'm thinking like The Big Jeeves, you know, would be a good.
That would land. Yeah.
So anyway, so cutting the cord from Google. Will, this obviously involves going to a lot of things. So how do you plan to start doing this? Like if somebody just listening to this first episode is like, I'm interested to follow you along in the journey, but what is this all going to entail? Okay, what would be the main how points that we're going to focus in on?
The first two things that come to mind, right, are the email and Drive. There's so many facets. I've mentioned the home and the phone and all that. I'm gonna take it slow. I can't do it all at once.
Yeah. Can we say email, Drive, and calendar as our first notes that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Because I think those would be the most common things people are using Google for right now.
Absolutely.
Gmail, Drive, and Calendar are probably the three most common. Otherwise, you're using Microsoft's Calendar, and let's be real here. Ugh.
Pass.
I mean, you could use Notion Calendar, like some of us evolved people, but it's basically just Google Calendar enhanced, so it's fine.
Evolved people, you are so cute. Oh my gosh. You know, frankly, I've not seen a lot from Proton about their calendar. I know there's one that exists, but
they have one on there. Yeah.
So email, like let's just think through the scope that we're dealing with here. You know, I don't know the answer to this, so I'll come back around that. Google Drive, as an example. I have 730 gigabytes of data in my Google Drive.
That's a lot.
I don't know what it is. Like, that's actually a problem. I don't know what's in there.
Will's been saving every text he's ever sent in Google Drive.
That's possible. But like, you know, just that is a sheer time issue. If I want to migrate that over to my Proton, it's going to be a download and an upload. Or if they've got an import tool, great. But still, like, I don't know what's in those 730 gigs. Part of it is going to be an exploration of like figuring out, do I want to keep any of it? I just, this is good news. Okay, 570 gigs of it apparently is family storage. So I'm going to bet that that's like my Google family, and none of that's actually my files. That's actually great. That brings me down to just a simple 200
So we'll just delete
gigabytes.
All that. Forget the family.
Yeah, forget them. Who cares, right? But it's just time. Now I know some of those files are like old homework and like grad school files and things like. It might be time to purge. It might be time to do some deletion, not just bring everything over. I know there's like Proton has built like a Sheets tool and a Docs tool and a couple of comparables but I doubt they're going to go 1-to-1. So there's going to be a lot of effort to like bring sheets over and make them work and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Marissa and I keep like our global budget, not like line items, but like our global budget and some of our annual planning. We keep that in a spreadsheet. I know if Marissa's going to follow me and come to use it too, that has to transfer over 1-to-1 or she will never leave Google Drive. There's just a ton of stuff like that. Like it's going to be a full audit of my Google Drive, and that's wild. Now, folks, the other element of this that's my own doing is I have 2 Gmails. I use 2 actively. I made an account back in my teens that was like an anime character name, and that's what my phone got associated with when I was, let's say, 16 or 17. And so that account became the central account for all of my Google-based data, all of my YouTube videos, all my Google Drive, all of my pictures, billing, YouTube music, all that's associated with this very non-traditional, very anime-like name, and it's quite embarrassing. So about 20, 21 years old, I made an account that's my name, and that was more professional, and that's what I generally operate out of, but it's not, it doesn't have all my files in it, but it does have some files, but it has all my emails in it, because I primarily email from it. So I've not only got to switch over platform to platform, but I've got to somehow coalesce my professional Gmail account and my non-professional Gmail account and all of those data points together to bring them from Google Drive to Proton Drive, to bring them from Gmail over to Proton Mail.
So,
and that's going to take a lot.
Yeah, you're in luck because Josh does more research than Will sometimes.
Always.
And it just took a quick Google search, which is ironic.
Thank you.
In case you're curious. Yeah, so Google, I will say, if like you're interested in doing this, like the thing Will's going to have to do, okay, for those solutions in general. Now, I don't know how much this affects Calendar, but it would be your Drive, and most likely looks like Gmail as well. It looks like Google has a Google tool called Google Takeout, ironically, where you can export your Drive. It looks like watch and like search histories and stuff, a whole bunch of stuff. You can like export it out into zip files from Google Takeout and then import directly into Proton. Now, Will's right. This stuff isn't gonna come over perfectly. Like this isn't my first rodeo doing this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I exported a whole bunch of stuff out when I first moved over to Notion. It brought stuff into Notion when I had moved to Notion as my new thing. And things did not transfer over perfectly at all. And I doubt you're gonna have the same with Proton. Though Proton's Drive tool actually looks very similar to Google Drive. It is ironic. They're definitely competing directly with Google as their like cut the cord takedown, because they've got very similar tools to Google, which is interesting. But it looks like, you can migrate those. Same with photos. You can migrate photos off of the Takeout tool. It looks like, most of what you're going to be doing is through Takeout, like Google Takeout, exporting into zip files and re-uploading into Proton. Proton has an import tool specifically designed for those types of things.
I love it.
From Google Takeout. Yeah, they have a whole separate, so they have an import folder tool, but they have a separate tool for importing Google products from Google Takeout. So it looks like they've thought through some of this work for Will.
Folks, there are 75 data points. If I go to takeout.google.com, okay, that's what Google Takeout is. It brings up 75 different data points that I can export and take with me. And this is a part of why I want out, okay? All of my access logs, anything around my account
I have 73
logs
too.
is a
that
data
must just
point.
be the general data points. Wow.
Alerts, Google Alerts and subscriptions, Android device configuration, my arts and culture. What is my arts and culture? Assignments, if I've ever used Google, what the heck is their LMS called? Google Classroom. Blogger, Calendar, Canvas,
cursive.
Chrome,
if you took notes in cursive in Google, there's a separate export tool for that. I find that hilarious. Who is cursive noting in Google? Tell us now.
They have 75 different things that I can select.
Your fit is in there though, because Google Fit's on your list, right? So looking at Will's list, at Will's list here right now: Google Home, cell phone, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Fit, Nest. How is Nest different than Google? What is Nest different than Google Home? That's secure. That's
Well, so Google Home is Google Home automation. All of
automation.
my commands.
Nest is the thing controlling your heating.
Nest
and
is
stuff,
the
right?
thermostat.
Yeah, it's your thermostat. Yeah. Okay. And then your calendar. So it looks like Google Account, Google Ads. You can export your ads out, Will, if you'd like your data.
Oh, yay.
Google Chat, Cloud Search. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff.
Photos,
it looks like
Google
pretty much
Pay,
everything
Google
is a part of
One.
Google. So fun. Listen, I will say one prop to Google. They didn't have to make this. There's no regulation that says they had to make Google takeouts.
Right.
So that's,
Not in the United States. But.
props to them. It looks like Home app is included in there. Mail is included in there as well. Maps. Oh yeah, man. Does this mean you're never going to use Google GPS anymore? Is this I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
What do we
I have thought of this.
Does Google own the other one? What's the other one called?
Waze.
Waze, right? Yeah. Does Google own Waze?
Does own Waze. Yes. I have thought about this, and this is probably one of my number one weak points. I put two and two together, actually. All right. When I get in my car and I plug my phone in and Android Auto takes over, I want to use Android Auto.
Yeah.
I want the functionalities in my car.
This is going to be a vibe. That's for sure.
So there's two things that I need to consider in this space. One is that Android is not Google. Google owns. Hold on.
I know. I'm going to debate that in a hot second, but continue
I'll finish my thought.
Continue your faulty logic, and then we'll get there.
No. Google does not own Android. Android is an open source software system and operating system that Google has co-opted. They own so much of it, and they've done so much work around it, and they may have even built the original Android, but like it is theoretically its own open source entity. Because last point.
Continue your point. I have a hilarious joke to make.
There are
that you make
Android operating systems that are not Google at all. There's no Google in them. So go ahead.
That's fine. I'm gonna make a joke right now. You may cut. So let's be very prepared because it's verging on not okay. But I'm gonna say it anyway because it's too perfect.
Love it.
Like the U.S. doesn't own Venezuela right now. It's a country that we've co-opted. This.
You got me with that one.
So
you got me.
I won. It's just done. I won right there. I won. Boom.
Anyways, I may or may not have to make a sacrifice for some time to use Google Maps. And that's actually
I'm looking up alternatives right now. In case you're curious, Waze is the first one that shows up. But they are owned by Google now, so they're not an alternative. Google basically just runs them. You do Apple Maps. Everybody loves Apple Maps.
No.
Apple Maps isn't the worst thing to ever be created in the universe. Then it gets dark from there, Will. Okay, I'm on a list. I'm on a list of recommendations. Waze and Apple Maps are the first two. Number 3. We're not even that far down the list, okay? And names are already becoming like this. Number 3 is Here We Go. That's the app.
Where?
Say it in a voice of Mario. Here We Go Maps.
Here we go.
Is an innovative mapping service that helps you find your way around. That's how innovative it is. It does what maps do.
That's amazing.
It's excellent navigation and turn-by-turn voice navigation. So a GPS So Here We Go is another one. So I don't know about that. And then you've got OpenStreetMap is number 4. That's an open source community-driven mapping and navigation app. TomTom is apparently still a thing. TomTom has an app. In case you're curious.
That's amazing.
Mapbox, MapQuest still has a GPS app. Yes, it does, my friend. Maybe you have to go back to MapQuest. Could that be?
This hurts.
This is the most
hurts a little
fun.
bit.
That was it. There's only 7 alternatives. Your options
Dude,
are.
There's so many other elements of this that I'm okay with, like switching Google Home app to like some of the third party. I'm like, when you said the maps, I was like, you might have me. I might stay with Google Maps. It's just too good.
Yeah, there's some other ones. OpenStreet seems like one of the more popular fans.
Garmin has one called Here, apparently. Here
OSM
Maps.
and apparently is a very popular alternative, free and paid subscriptions. I'm just saying, if you end up back in a Garmin, man, I don't know if we can talk. You know what I mean? Like you're basically back in the early 2000s.
It's fine. I'll be in the middle of nowhere. You won't need to talk to me.
The road will just
I've
disappear
made a
at some point. You'll be lost
and
forever. You know.
Not happen.
So no, I think
That's
other than
amazing.
that, this the Google Takeout tool I think is going to help you a bit on this export. It looks like you can do a lot of stuff. Export on Notebook LM. It looks like it's covering a lot of things. Now, I'd be interested to see what like your exported Gmails look like when they get in Proton. But looking from documentation, Proton seems to have this kind of on lock right now. It seems like this is like in Proton's defense, this is their biggest thing. If they're competing with Google, they need to be able to know how to export out of Google. And so it looks like they've really thought through that program. It's similar to people aren't going to know this tool as well. This is a smaller, isolated version of this. But do you remember the tool Quip? Salesforce's document tool?
Yeah.
So when Notion first started coming around, Quip was one of the other big competitors.
Right.
So like right at the top, Notion knew immediately how to export from Quip and take all of Quip stuff. So like that, like this is their thing from Proton. So I think that'll be an interesting game. But yeah, there's a lot of things you got to pull off. Now, I'm curious before we continue, and I think we've broken this down a good bit here of what you're going to need to think through and do to cut the cord and why. I think it's a valuable reason why I'm giving you a hard time about some things. It's fun, but I respect this decision. And I'll be very interested to see how it goes because I am also interested in the world of cutting from more things. But I'm curious, the cell phone, how are you going to deal with the cell phone? Right? Like Proton's not got a cell phone sitting around. Proton's not like, check out and you could make your arguments about Android being open source, but like it's open source under under occupation. It's like it's
Android. I'm on the Wikipedia. Android is an operating system based on Linux kernel, and it's other open source software. Android has historically been developed as a consortium of developers known as the Open Handset Alliance, but its most widely used version is developed by Google. That's a version.
Yeah, true.
First released in 2008. It's the world's most widely used operating system. Get some, Apple. Thank you very much. Open and at its core, the operating system is known as the Android Open Source Project, and it's free and open source. I have a friend who's been on non-primary line operating systems, Android, for 15 years.
Okay.
Right? Like I know folks who are doing it, not using the Google.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a bit more
systems.
open source than I anticipated.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, can I get away from it? I don't know. Like, I'll tell you, I've got a financial commitment to this phone. That's a problem. So I've got to keep this hardware for a little while. I am considering jailbreaking it or whatever it takes to put my own operating system on it. So I would just clean Google right off of it, and I would use an Android operating system. And they don't even have the Google Play Store. They have other stores and app stores and stuff.
100%.
You can download the Google Play Store on one of those because not all apps are on all stores and stuff. But that is the world I'd be looking at. The other option is I'm really would love to buy a Fairphone. And that is that phone that's based out of the UK, which can be physically modded. You can replace the battery, the screen, all this stuff. It's designed to be used long term and not just turn the 9 in for the 10 in for the 11, the 11 in for the 12.
Do they have a different OS, or are they?
They're on an Android operating system. I don't remember which version or anything like that, but it's not like Google's operating system first and foremost.
Yeah, they got headphones and stuff now too.
And when you first go to their website, it comes up in Dutch, so it takes a second to get into English, and I can't ever figure it out. So what I do is I switch to Ireland, and then it gets to English. Yeah. Buy the Fairphone, get free earbuds. Yeah, there's a ton of tech that's coming up out of them. I do see kind of very googly Android operating system on that screenshot. I see the Google app on there. So they probably are more entwined with Google, but it's still something that I could put my own operating system on if I needed to. So those are the things that I'm accepting / trying. Like, you know,
Well, it looks like they have their own OS.
Did you
EOS. Yeah. It looks like they have their own OS.
Oh, yes, I've heard of EOS. Right. Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So, you know, there's a chance, dude. There's a chance I don't even have to do these things.
It's a cool looking phone. Yeah, they have an Android version and the EOS version. So the Android version is cheaper than the EOS version.
Sure.
Yeah. I've heard of this phone too. It's come up on a couple podcasts and stuff that I listen to, and they just recently released headphones and earbuds and stuff too. They're all about kind of trying to make an eco-friendly,
they release
repairable
a camera?
Devices. A camera
Coming for the Wise market.
Oh, cover the Wise market. I don't know.
A smart vacuum or
that would be funny. For sure. Yeah, no. Okay, that's cool.
So, you know, there's the smart home stuff, there's the Nest and all that. There's the phone and the accounts. Like it's going to take me a long time. And I'm waiting on one or two things. I haven't pulled the trigger yet on my Proton subscription. I'm waiting on something. I'm trying to communicate with them to figure out kind of if there's some good opportunities for me there. AKA discounts. I'm looking for discounts. It's fine. I'll say it out loud.
They come on the HiTech podcast if they want, if that gets you like a little thing.
It's not something that I'm trying to figure
Okay, that's
out.
fun. So. Proton, if you're listening, come check us out. HiTech podcast.
Take a look. Yeah. HTP.
Good time.
That's it. I mean, philosophically, you've got my background, what I'm committing to. We've got it settled down. I'm going to document these things as we go, and we're going to put them out there so folks can do it too and consider it. I do believe that a less centralized approach to your digital identity is a better thing. What I mean by that is a centralized approach to your digital identity is all of my stuff's in Google. Well, that means that whatever Google decides to do, Google gets to do. And it's their call. I don't get a say in that. And so if I decentralize,
for sure.
And I'm subscribed to Proton, I'm subscribed to this, I'm subscribed to that. Well, if Proton changes their game, I can leave Proton and go to the next place that I think better aligns with me. But like right now, what we've pulled together in the last 47 minutes of this episode is, if I want to leave Drive, I have to leave Gmail. If I want to leave Gmail, I've got to take my calendar. If I want to take calendar, I got to do Maps. Am I going to take Maps? I'm so embedded into this convenient system that I can't get out of it. And that's why I'm committing to doing this. I want to prove that it can be done.
So I don't want to keep going on this topic. We'll probably continue to discuss this, but like, what isn't the same problem exists with Proton though? Like if you go to Proton, you still got all of Proton's systems, calendar, Drive. Like you're still centralizing yourself in Proton. Now Proton, luckily right now cares about security, but like what about 2077 when Keanu Reeves is a rocker and the world has been taken over by corporations and we live in cyberpunk realm and Proton decides we no longer care about security. We actually really
2027 you mean?
Next
year?
We actually really like money more.
You're not wrong, but like we've said, right? So my Gmail account is tied to all these other things. Google Play, Google Fit, Google Maps, Google Mail, Google Drive, Google Calendar. Proton doesn't have all of that. So I'm going to leave Google and leave the comfort and convenience of that big mesh ecosystem.
Proton has less.
I'm going to have to find... Right. I'm going to maybe centralize my digital data with Proton, but then I'm going to have to find a fitness app that I like. And I'm going to have to find a map app that I like. And I'm going to have to find who the heck knows what else.
So you go back to like the 2000s, like when we all just found apps that we liked instead of had centralized
Doesn't that sound
systems.
better than 2026? It sounds a lot better than 2026.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? 2000s, I had less money.
Yeah.
And I lived in my parents' basement.
Perfectly
I don't know. I entirely want to go back to that. Now I'm in my own basement. I'm still in a basement, but like I'm in my own.
You bought that basement.
I bought this basement, darn it. Anyway, I'm very excited to check this out. We will continue this conversation, much like the Topia episodes like we talked about. This is going to be sprinkled throughout, it's like a cupcake. 2026 is the HiTech Podcast Cupcake, and we're sprinkling on top of it Topia in Will's tears as he leaves Google. That's what this is the year you're in. But if you want to learn how Scribe can be helpful for documenting, we're definitely going to be putting it through its courses here, and it's going to be a good time this year. So next week, we are going to talk through more about Scribe, the nuts and bolts, how it works, and how Will's planning on using it during this process. And then the journey shall begin, folks. And then we got some cool guests coming up this year that are going to be happening. We've got some other cool discussions. So make sure to be continuing listening to the HiTech Podcast in any of the places that you listen, watch. I was going to say a third thing, like there's a third option, but there's not. It's just those
like
two.
A good Baptist.
So, all right, folks. This is a wrap on another week. Empowering minds.
Embracing tech. Cheers.
Cheers.
Buckle